Good evening, folks. Good evening. What is going on? What's up to all you tough lovers out there? My name is Crishaun the Don. I am your host for the night. And tonight, for Tough Love, we're going to be showing some tough love to some people who need it probably more than ever in this time. And I'm talking about the people that women hate to love and the people that men love to hate. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Simps. Yes, we're going to talk about the Simps. We're going to talk about what I believe is that the term. I like the term. I think the term has some utility to it. It has some logic. It makes sense. As soon as you hear it, it's one of those terms that could be a curse word if we work up to it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm worried about. I feel like that term has been bastardized over ever since the creation of it. And I'm talking about the slang term of it. And I'm going to get into the actual definition of the term and how I don't think even the definition in the Urban Dictionary sums it up right. And I want to redefine the term because I think we got to keep that term around. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna redefine it here, and then I'm gonna show you examples that I believe are different kinds of simps because there are also levels to it, just like any other game. There's levels to it. So let's just get into the urban definition real quick of the term here. There was my man, bitch, woman diagram there. Let's see. Okay, so the term here is in the urban dictionaries. Top definition of a simp is someone who does way too much for a person they like, which I feel like is just too vague. It's also a subjective kind of thing, doing way too much. I know some people who do nearly nothing and they think they're doing way too much. So again, I don't think that defines the term enough. Other definitions on the crowdsourced online dictionary include a man who puts the hoes before the bros. I suppose, I guess that could be considered a simp. Again, I think it's a little too broad. I think it's too loose of a definition. And that could be defined like that could be a fucking trick. A guy who's actually, buying prostitutes. He's technically putting hoes before his bros. I'm sure he's fucking prostitutes sometimes before hanging out with his friends. Or if his friend needs him and he's fucking a prostitute, he's going to get his money. He's going to get his money's worth first. So he's putting hoes before bros. That's what I mean by it's too vague. So anyway, a guy that is overly desperate for women, especially if she's a bad person or has expressed a disinterest in him, in which he continues to obsess over. And again, that gets into that psycho shit. Following her home and all that type of shit. Is that really a simp? I don't know if when we're talking about simps, if that's what we really mean. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, what I think a simp is more or less a simp is the male version of a hoe. And I'm gonna explain what I mean. A woman is a hoe if she sells her pussy, right? And the reason why she sells her pussy is because she knows that's her most important asset, more or less. A man that not a lot of men, I guess, are really selling dick out here. You know what I mean? They it does exist. Definitely does exist, but I don't think it's the same because a man doesn't lose dignity in fucking a lot of women, even if it's for money. I mean, we may lose a little bit somewhere. I don't think it's the same with women. If we were to, like, let's say, you get paid to have sex with an old woman and you do it just for the money and you don't enjoy any of it. Um, Obviously there'll be some kind of dignity loss there. But I think that's also based on if, for a man, if you need if you like were desperate for the money, and men usually don't get that desperate for money. We can usually go out if you're fucking slanging dick where you can sell it. You're gonna be able to go out and do something else. So but men will do that. Men will do that, and I don't think it's the same as in a woman going and selling her pussy to some old dude for money. That affects her differently than it does a man. A man, and I've explained this before. A man's uh, I guess, I don't want to call it an asset, but I call it an asset just for this, for the sake of this conversation, is his time, his respect, respect for his time. We often mix and conflate money in there, but I always say that it's because we put so much time into making money. If we didn't have to put in a lot of time to make our money, it would devalue our money a little bit. We'd be a little more frivolous with our money because we don't have to put as much time into getting it, into achieving it. So, but when a man is frivolous with those things, that to me is what makes him a male hoe, because it's using the things that the most important assets and selling those and being frivolous with those assets. And it's just that we have different assets. We have different value in terms of male and female. So yeah, I mean, if you notice, like, it's only simps really get mad at hoes when and dealing with hoes, and it's really because they're trying to battle just like every other dude with a woman, and we're trying to battle our female, and they're trying to battle their female with female game, so they're always gonna lose that game. Simps being the male hoes are always gonna lose to real hoes. You get what I mean? So it's just like when women try to play they try to play the psychological game with us, and if and when we play back, they lose every single time. That's because that's our game. Um, yeah. So that's kind of my definition, more or less. I think it's for instance, I think if I were to summarize it, it's the attempt, excuse me, I don't know what that was. It's the attempt to buy a woman's loyalty. That's pretty much what I feel like. It's like a shortcut that simps usually take. And that's what makes them simps. I'll give you an example where I believe that the term has been bastardized, because I have conversations with a lot of younger dudes coming up in the game and all that, and they tend to have issues. A lot of younger guys with women. They tend to have the fuck these hoes mentality, and I'll give you an example. I was having a conversation the other day with a coworker of mine, young guy, and I was explaining to him how I have no problem with buying a woman dinner, and he was trying to tell me that that was simp mentality, and I explained to him that it's not simp mentality, because of the fact that what makes the difference between buying dinner as a man and buying dinner as a simp, I'll tell you the difference, is when I buy dinner for a woman, it's never in the hopes that it's going to better my relationship with her, or it's going to better my chances with either having sex with her, or her liking me more, or any of that. Um, that's where I believe the simp mentality comes into, is when you're buying something with the hopes that it's gonna get you further in the relationship with her. Buying her a gift is not being a simp. Buying her a gift in the hopes that it keeps her faithful is being a simp. Um, and here's another important part about simping that I think a lot of people miss, is that simping isn't just about money. It's not just about money, and it's not just about materialism and materialistic things. I mean, and I learned that because I'm just not a materialistic person. I just don't, you see me on the show, I just wear t-shirts and fucking, flowery Hawaiian shirts. Like it's not that I don't care how I look. It's just I don't need a lot to be satisfied and to be confident that I am presentable. Um so that's where I believe I learned this, is that simping isn't just about money. It's not just about monetary. Um and that's where you see with the difference between simping and hoeing, and why it's a female's game. Um it's more layered with men. And that's why, well, it's not that it's more layered, it's the fact that it's not about the physical. It's not about the sex. It's about the assets that a man brings to a woman. That's what you're trying to attract women with jewelry, and showing her money so that she thinks you have a lot of money and you think that makes you attractive. She's only attracted to that. I mean, this is very simple stuff, but the fact that you're doing that is the equivalent to the hoes that walk the streetwalkers that wear the fishnet stockings and the strip of cloth that's supposed to be a skirt and the high heels. That's the equivalent. The only difference is you're not selling dick. That's your requirement, and she's willing to take that requirement just to get the assets. So yeah, but simping is also about, and I think this is the more important part, and I think it actually is the root of the other stuff. It's the root of the giving up your time and giving up your money, is that it's about selling out on your morality. Um Most men have this belief, with that, not even a belief, but we have this innate kind of feeling about our time and about our money, that women just don't understand. They don't get it. Um, and men will sell out on their morality, and sell out on their beliefs, and sell out on their instincts just to appease women. Um, and a lot of these guys that are out here wearing the jewelry and doing all this like fancy peacocking shit just to get women, really don't want to do it. They just do it because they think they have to. They think that's what they have to do in order to attract women. I remember when I was a younger kid, and I was working a job, and I was working a summer camp job, actually, and there was this one mother that used to come in, and she was fucking beautiful. She was a goddamn, like, she looked like a model. She was this mixed mulatto looking woman, and she was just gorgeous. And every time she came in to pick up her kid, everybody, all the guys would just literally stop and just take a moment to appreciate. And one day, one of the kids' uncles came to pick up the kid, and we knew the guy because he would come and pick her up all the not all the time, but every now and then. And he would come in because he was a mechanic. He would come in dirty, just covered in oil, covered in grime, in a in the mechanic jumpsuit, all that stuff, just a mess. And he would come in, but he was a cool dude. He was just really just a cool guy. Everybody loved talking to him. He was funny. He was hilarious. And he was interesting to talk to. And one day he came in, and that mother was there. And without even thinking, as soon as he saw her, he went right up to her, looking like a mess, all grimed up, and goes and starts talking to her, and was literally talking to her for a good half an hour. Never met her before. Was talking to her for a good half an hour, gets her number, and I don't know what happened, but when she left, and everybody was like talking to him like, how did you do that? He explained that it's not about the looks. It's not about the the outfit that you're wearing. It's not about the it could be about the outfit. Like you're a mechanic. The point is that you could make that attractive to a woman. It just takes that confidence. So you don't have to be dressed up in in the finest fucking gear to get a woman attracted to you. Um yeah, so that's basically that's to me what is one of the most important things is I think a lot of guys give up their beliefs and their morality and their dreams. Even sometimes you see these old guys that are middle-aged guys that are married, and they just look miserable, and it's because they gave up all their dreams, and they not only lost respect for themselves, they lost respect from their woman. Their women don't even respect them. And to me, that's a simp. That's a veteran simp. That's one that's been in the simp game. He's born and bred in the simp game. And again, I'm telling you guys this from experience because I was a simp at one point. I was definitely a simp. I think we all have that. In our maybe teenage years, our later teenage years, we have that. We don't know the game. We don't understand it. We don't understand women and how to talk to them and how to get them interested in us. So we try to, you try to give them things and buy their love. And you always end up fucking heartbroken, so to speak. So yeah, that's where I think, especially these days, a lot of men give up their beliefs. They give up their and instincts is a better way to put it. I think it's not just beliefs; it's your instincts. A lot of men fall for the they get softened by their woman way too easily. They don't fight for enough of their masculine instincts, and they yeah, that's bad for you and it's bad for her. So yeah, I just again the whole thing of all of this, doing all these things, giving in on your time, being frivolous with your time, being frivolous with your morality and your beliefs, and again your instincts, all in the hopes that a woman is going to like you, going to sleep with you, uh, going to marry you, even. It's all based on the hope that they're going to do those things. And they may, but they're not going to do it with the passion that you want. It's all going to be an act. And usually that's where you get into this thing where women I believe they tend to cheat. It's because they get these men that do every single thing for them, and it's almost like they're not going to give up their cash cow just because the guy is not fucking her right. So what they'll do is they'll go, all right, I'm going to keep this guy here appeased with my asset, which is the vagina. I'll let him think that he's doing his thing. But then she's going and finding some real D. And she has that asset over there. So until you're all encompassing and taking care of all of that, you're not gonna have faithful women. They're like scavengers. They're scavengers. They're just they're trying to get everything they can where they can. Unless they find, somewhere that they're getting everything. And I don't know why men fight this. Where like they'll go, oh, what are we supposed to be, like Superman? I'm supposed to be, I'm supposed to do everything. It's like, why wouldn't you want to be? I'm not saying be Superman, but why wouldn't you want to be as good as you possibly could be? Like, I don't get, what's the alternative? You sit around and do nothing all day? You're not, like, are you not creative? Do you not want to do other things? Do you not want to get up? Like, getting up and going to work, I get it. It sucks. But have you ever, like, not had a job and not had something to do? Like, I take vacations every once in a while. And, maybe after a week, I'm like, kind of like, all right, I don't have shit to do. I gotta go do something. And like when I take vacation, I can't sit around and do nothing. I have to do things. So I just don't understand men that don't want to be like I want to be Superman. Even if it's impossible, I want to be the best man that I can be, and that's for me. And whatever woman that I choose to reap the benefits of my Supermanness is the one that gets chosen. And that's what I'm saying. Men don't live off of hope. Women live off of hope. That's why doing things in the hopes that she's going to do. If you're not doing something logically and psychologically that is going to make her do something that she doesn't even realize, it's a simp move. If it's not that, it's a simp move. If you're doing something or doing some kind of game and then hoping it works, that's simp behavior. If it's not strategic and if it's not logical, if it's just buying the love, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna hand you my respect on a silver platter. Do what you will with it. And that's basically it. So yeah, hope is a feminine quality. It's a feminine aspect. We don't live off of that. We're not comforted by hope. Women have that idea that there's there's somebody out there for everybody. It's like, yeah, it's again one of those vague things. Yeah, sure, technically there is, but it's not like there's that one person out there. It's like it's just waiting for fate and destiny to line up so that you can meet. That's not what it is. I think there's a lot of somebodies out there for everybody. It's just which ones get in line and get that person to treat them right. That's what it is. And some people settle. And again, that's simping. You're settling. You're settling and hoping. The reason why hope is a female trait, hope, is because women don't innately have they don't have what's the best way to put this? They don't have a way to make men love them. Men have many ways that we can make a woman love us. Whether it be physically, whether it be our personality, whether it be our charm, we could be funny. A woman will love us. If something doesn't work in making her love us, we just do another thing. That doesn't work, we do another thing. That doesn't work, we do another thing until something works. Or all of those things work together. What does women have? Physicality and pussy. That's why once a woman is trying to like sort of lock you down or trying to control you, and then she gives you pussy and you still put up that fight and she still can't control you after that, that's when a woman falls in love with you. She's like, Jesus Christ, my pussy can't control this guy. This is a bad motherfucker. That's what she thinks. He's not a simp. So that's what women do. They date. They don't have any skill in people. That's why they always want to control everybody. They don't have a skill in teaching people and guiding people and psychologically guiding people to acting and behaving certain ways. They don't have logic. They don't, and yeah, they don't have any of that to find a good man. So what they do is they date and they date and they date and they date, and they hope that each man that they date is the one. They hope he's a good man. They hope that it works out. They hope that the right guy is out there. I know it. I know it is. I know he is. He's out there. It's because they don't have any innate skill. They don't have patience. They just don't know how to truly change us. Women could be the catalyst to a man changing, but inevitably it's him. It's him that's making that choice. He might look at her and go, I'm going to change for her, but that's his choice. And the change is his direction. She's just kind of spectating and enjoying and again hoping that everything works out. All right, so let me show you a couple of videos and then I'm going to get out of here. So this beautiful young lady was caught cheating by her boyfriend, I guess, and they're living together. He found some clothes, but I'm just gonna show you some stuff. Listen, I just want you to listen to what he said. And this is why I tell you guys, fucking a woman right is the number one thing you have to. That's got to be your number one priority if you're talking about keeping a woman faithful. It's got to be your number one priority. And I always say that I never hear these guys ever say that in these videos. And I'm just going to show you, and then I'll comment.
You sit on the couch like this shit normal, man. She got a whole nother. I ain't even this fucking size, bro. Like, look how big these clothes are. This ain't my shit, bro. Like, why the fuck? Like, come on. What the fuck I do to deserve that shit, though, what I'm saying? I don't want that shit. You can keep it.
Get out.
Fuck you, man. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going no fucking where. I pay the fucking bills in this house.
Out.
I just want to know why. Why? Like, why the fuck was you? Why? Like, all I do is go to work. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking going to somebody go somewhere, man. She got me fucked up, man. I get my shit out this motherfucker first time I get out. Ain't no fucking get out. My shit. What you mean good? Look at her, y'all. Look. She's want to kick it out now because she caught. So she's talking about get out. Look at her. She just on the phone like she don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I don't matter, but I'm not finna fucking leave. You think I'm finna leave? You crazy as hell. I'm not going nowhere. I feel like I deserve an explanation.
Now I always hear that. It's, all I do is work. All I do is pay the bills. I do this. I do that. And, again, nothing wrong with that. That's what you're doing. But yeah, there's a thing. If you have to have time into your relationship, and if you don't have the time to spend with your girl because you're making money and you're making moves and you're doing things that she doesn't even understand, the least you should be doing is fucking her right at the end of the night. And that's gonna at least keep her away from other dick. At least for the time being, until like at least if you're ambitious enough that you're out working all the time and you're making money and you're paying the bills, she's gonna respect that. If you're not a broke guy out here. So that has to be the problem. And a woman will give up the relationship once the jig is up. But she knows this is why she doesn't give a fuck right there. Is because she knows he'll be back. That's what it is. That's how men act when we know it's gonna she'll be back. Give a fuck. But yeah, this pretty much just ends with this guy. Actually, I'll just play it and you'll see how it ends. It's pretty fucking pitiful. If he's the guy that's paying the bills, he kind of.
You just gonna tell me another dude will be coming over?
Like what you gonna do?
That's crazy.
You gonna
man.
stay or you gonna go?
That's crazy, man.
You gonna stay or you gonna go?
That's crazy though. But that's what I'm saying. But that's what.
You go.
See, there's no fear in her that like where he has you could tell he doesn't have the place to go. All right, I'm just gonna. I can go get. I can go make another woman fucking have multiple orgasms, and I'll have her whole fucking paycheck if I want to. Like it's like there's no there's no like he has nothing to threaten her with. Other than I have the bills and this and that. She can easily get another guy to pay her bills. Women always have guys around that are going to pay her bills. There's always simps around. So that's the thing is if you had that threat of like, okay, well I'm gonna go get my bitches back. Like you think you're one. I'm trading now one for multiple. I was being faithful to you. I was giving you my time. If you had that to threaten her with, you wouldn't even need to threaten her. She'd be so busy trying to keep you happy and keeping other pussy juice off of your cock that she's going to be so busy doing that she's not going to be fucking around. Now, if you're being greedy and you're being you're being a liar and you're going behind her back and doing all this, she'll eventually go and fuck somebody else. But gotta be honest. That's all that is. You gotta be really what you are. Honestly, what you are. Righteous. Let's finish this video.
But I'm saying that's crazy though. Like, no, it's all good though, man. Just take a look at this. Like, what?
Yeah, you can go.
Just take a good look. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all good though. I'm gonna come back and get my stuff. So just make sure you have my stuff put up.
Yeah, it'll be out.
I don't want no drama. I don't want none of that.
It'll be out.
But just make sure you got a way to pay your.
Okay,
make sure you got a way to pay
okay,
the bills.
I do.
Because when I'm gone,
Bye,
I'm not
bye.
paying nothing else.
All right, bye.
It don't even make sense. That's crazy. That's what happened, bro. You trying to make sure somebody good, bro. You trying to take care of somebody, make sure they straight. Whole time they gonna hold up something about something. How? That don't mean we over here. What you mean? No.
No, he really didn't make much of a stand there. Jesus Christ. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's if that's all you have to argue with. Again, you saw how easily he said, I hope you have somebody to pay. She said, yeah, I do. No problem. You saw his clothes. He's going to pay the bills now. That's replaceable. It's fucking replaceable. Every dude. Watch this one. Look at this guy. Now this one, I don't know if this is real. I don't know if any of these are real. You know, you just assume that one seemed real. But again, listen to the beginning of this one here.
Man, women ain't man. Listen here, and I'm not saying all women ain't but let me start this by saying this. I don't even do this social media shit. Like I usually don't go on social media. I don't post shit on there. But today, I want to help the next out because I just want to let you know women ain't shit, man. This is from today. I'm at work. I go to work every day. I work hard every fucking day to take care of this woman. I'm talking about paying her bills. I pay for her to go to school. I take care of the kids. I put food in the house. I don't even get EBT. I don't get food stamps. I got to pay for food out my fucking pocket.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, and this is what I'm trying to point out here is I'm showing you different kinds of simps. And this right here, just like the guy before, both simps. Both of them. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with if you have a girl that you trust and she's a smart woman and you're gonna put her through school and do all this stuff. Hey, if you're building an empire and that's what you're doing and you figured out how to do it, nothing wrong with that. But again, do you hear how he's bringing this up? Because the thing is he did all those things in the hopes that she would be faithful to him. And it never fucking works. It never works. Men do not live off of hope. A man cannot live off of hope alone. Stop doing things in the hopes that a woman is going to be faithful to you. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Again, look up all these cheating videos. All of these videos of these women getting caught cheating. Every man will say the same thing. Pay the bills. I bought you underwear. I bought you high heels. I pay for food. They all say the same thing. Again, I'm going to repeat it again. All of those things are replaceable to a woman. So yeah, that's pretty much that one. Here's another kind of simp. This is a different kind of simp right here. This is this guy here. Hold on, just lost control of everything. Give me a second, guys.
And yeah, I will show you guys around.
Okay, so this is a guy who's obviously not from. I guess this may be America. Don't know what country this is, but let's check this out.
Like always. So.
May you go Danny?
Yeah, go to your room. Huh? I fight for everyone.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Good job, man.
Oh shit, you see? It's already. And
now I don't know if you guys noticed that, but she legit just stole his necklace off of his neck. He didn't even realize it. And that's what makes him a simp. Is the fact that he didn't even realize it. And the fact that she got that close and violated him. And she did it, she knew what she was doing. She did it based on her womanness. And yeah, he fell for it. Now, is this the same kind of simp behavior that we've seen, like a psychological simp kind of thing? Not really. So maybe I'm being a little hard on this guy. Maybe he just saw some of that Colombian pussy walk by, and we all get little distracted by Colombian pussy every now and then, right? So maybe I'm being a little hard on this guy. So I'm not going to give him the simp card. But you do gotta You can't let these women just walk all over you like that. Just walked on you. She deboed you. All right. This one is one that I've been wanting to talk about for a minute. Ah, boy. DJ Envy from The Breakfast Club. If you're a non-hip hop fan, you're probably going, who gives a fuck? So just watch this like the other two guys that you didn't know, if you don't know him. But he's a pretty famous DJ in the radio scene, the hip hop scene. And he's on The Breakfast Club, and this goes into the world of where I always tell men that you always got to have the nuclear warhead for women, the shut the fuck up nuclear warhead. Always be able to tell your woman to shut her fucking trap. Because this goes into that world, but then it also goes into simping. And this is the veteran simp world that I was talking about earlier. This is the example of that. A man who's been married and who I believe bought his woman's love and attention. Tried to, I should say.
The Shade Room, and the Shade Room, of course, only posted a part of the interview, and this is the part that they
said,
posted.
Of course.
I'm sure so many women can relate. Like, you want to reward that man for that work, and the only reward that you have to offer is an orgasm. But even if I didn't feel it, I would still be performative. So yes, I was faking it.
We got into like a argument, and then she was like, well, I don't be having an orgasm. And I was like, what? And she was like, I don't. I'm like, no, yes, you do. I hear it. Like, yeah, and then she was like, no, I'm faking it. I'm like, every time? And she was like, yeah. And then that just crushed me because I thought I was putting in work. Like, I'm sitting there thinking
All right. Now, basically, just to reiterate the story, DJ Envy was married. So they've been married for 27 years, I believe. And the first 12 years of their marriage, she faked orgasms with him. Now, I believe this is the perfect example of paying your way into the relationship. Now, people will go, oh, well, DJ Envy was with her before he was famous and before he was successful and all that stuff. Now, again, women, it's not based on what he is now. It's based on what he was. And he had to be at least an ambitious guy. He was in school. He was in college. He had a business degree. He was on his way up. He wasn't just a bum, is what I'm saying, when they got together. So he wasn't rich, but he was obviously had his shit together. He knew what he was gonna do. And I believe what happened was she was sort of protecting her investment by faking orgasms. And and the reason why I say that is because she knows that that's what makes him feel secure in the relationship. But the reason why I believe he paid in is because she was faking the orgasms. Like, what other reason would she have to lie about that? If we're gonna sit here and go, oh, well, it's a woman, she's being modest and she's being... You're telling me for 12 years it's based on her not wanting to embarrass him? She put up with that for 12 years based on that? Based on not knowing her body? Get the fuck out of here. I do not believe that for a goddamn second. I think she was paying or protecting her investment. Look, the way a woman thinks is she would rather fake orgasms with a man, DJ Envy, she would rather do that. She would rather, sort of pretend she's fully happy in this relationship to the point of getting married. And a woman will rather do that and then get some side dick than to be honest and tell her cash cow that he sucks in bed, because she knows that that could be a deal-breaking conversation. It now puts her loyalty into question, because a man's going to think, if I'm not fucking her right, then something, she's got to be getting it somewhere. That's just where we go, and they know that that's where we go. So to her, it's like walking on a, in a land, what is it called? Minefield. Sorry. And she'd rather not have that conversation. She'd rather go, all right, well, I'll get it somewhere else. I'll get fulfilled somewhere else. And he believed the lie. He's even admitting it. He believed the lie. And he didn't even question her on it. And I always tell men all the time, you gotta always, even if she's doing the moaning and all that type of shit, you gotta question yourself whether or not you're really fucking it right, whether or not you're really doing it the right way. You got the right techniques down. Are you hitting the fucking G spots? Are you doing the hitting the right angles and positions and all that type of stuff? I mean, it's not even just all that. There's little details and stuff. I'm not going to try to get into a sex talk here, but I'm just saying, you always got to question yourself. You can't believe her. You can't ever believe her. And the test to me is usually not paying for, not saying not paying for anything, but for instance, if I pay for dinner for a woman that I haven't slept with, I make sure she knows that I'm not doing that to have sex with her. Like, the two things don't correlate. I'm just hanging out with somebody and we're both eating. That's pretty much all it is. So what I'm saying is, though, is once you remove that idea that that's what you're doing, and that's not an easy thing to do, but you can make a woman believe it as long as you believe it, as long as you know that's not what you're doing, as long as you know you're not buying her this dinner or doing something for her in the hopes that something's gonna happen. And sometimes all it takes is just saying that. Is I don't do you think, do I need to pay for dinner to fuck you? I had a girl one time, she told me, she goes, it's a while ago, she goes, I was, trying to, I was trying to go the shortcut way, just going right for the pussy, right? And she's like, "Oh, well, you gotta buy me dinner before we, I sleep with you and this and that." And I'm like, "Okay." So I go, "All right, so I said to her, I go, so what's your favorite place to eat?" Right? I go, "Don't be modest. Tell me your favorite place to eat," right? She says a restaurant. And I go, "All right, well, how much is a plate there, would you say?" Let's say, what, $50? And I'm just highballing here. Let's say $50 for a plate. Right? And drinks and all that stuff. Tip, all that, right? And then I go, "All right, let's say 70 with a tip and a couple of drinks, and that's what I'm paying for you, right? At a decent place, you know what I mean? Or at a good place. I mean, I'm not Mr. Moneybags over here, fucking $70 for I'm just this is what I'm telling her. I'm just highballing it for her. Um, and she goes, okay, okay. So what? I go, all right. So how about I just pay you $70 and you let me fuck you, and then that way I don't waste, too much of my time because I'm a busy person, and I just don't want to go out to a place and eat because I don't enjoy that. And she goes, "Oh, yeah. Oh, you trying to say that I'm cheap?" And I go, "No, that's the price you made. You said dinner. I'm just cutting out the dinner, and I'm just giving you the I'm giving you the money. You do what you want to do with it." And by the way, I had no intentions of actually fucking this girl for money. I'm actually just doing this just to actually show her that one, that my time is more valuable than her games. And I also was showing her that you're making money and materialism or materialistic ideas be more important than actually enjoying being with somebody or fucking, liking a person. It's like if you already know that you're attracted enough to me to fuck, but all you're doing is now putting this barrier of dinner there. When I actually show you what the value that you're like, if you're gonna play that game and you're gonna be a hoe, then let me show you what you just valued your pussy at. It was $70, and I highballed it. You see what I'm saying? You want to know what her answer was to me? And this is how you know women have no skill or no integrity on their own when they try to play the psychological game. She looks at me and she goes, "Well, what about your plate?" I'm not kidding. She tried to negotiate now that I should pay her for my plate. I'm not joking. Fucking third degree black belt hoes out here. Yeah. So, I think that's another level to simping. Is simps are men that have a sexual interest in women, but they're not confident in their sexual skill. I think that's another level of simping. Let's say that's the third definition of simping. Um, and yeah, I say it all the time. Fuck her right. That's what you got to do. Listen, next week or next episode, I'm gonna teach you guys about what I think is anti-simping. Um, and no, it's not pimping, but it is almost like pimping. It's something that I call square pimping. And I'm gonna get into that next time here on Tough Love. Uh and that'll be sometime this week coming up. Yeah. So I hope I helped redefine the term simp here. And when I use the term simp, I hope people understand that that's what I mean. All of that shit that I just said. Let me see who we got here in the chat. We got Misfit Ranks. We only got two. It's late. Misfit Ranks, Misfit Ramdell. How fitting that it's both misfits. What is good, people? I don't know if my let me check out my my chat and see if, because my computer just went crazy in the middle of the show there. It ranks. We only got two. It's late. Yeah. Okay. That's all we got. Just making sure that I didn't lose the connection to the chat, so I went to the actual video there. All right. So Misfit Rank, she clearly didn't give a fuck about him, and he looked weak as fuck, bitching and moaning, complaining, and videoing her. I see. In my opinion, yeah. You know, I always forget that that people are actually videoing it. I just always feel like there's a body cam on, and they're forgetting the body cam is on. I always forget they pick up their phone and actually record. I've never had the feeling to have to do that in an argument with a woman. I get it if you catch her cheating and you need some kind of evidence because you live together or you're married. That's different. But yeah, just to go, hey, look at this, y'all. This bitch. That's how it always starts. Look at this, y'all. This bitch. Yeah, and she couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. Don't even know the fucking guy. And then he walks off like fucking mumbling to himself. It's like, all right, dude. I mean, I feel it. I've been there, but you know, now I find that out, I'm almost happy. I'm almost like, oh, I'm off the hook. It's almost like, you know, the beginning of Austin Powers 2. That's how I feel. Or how I would feel. I haven't had that happen since I was young, much younger. Like catch a woman cheating. Not saying they haven't. Who the fuck knows? I just didn't know. But I believe I haven't been cheated on in a long time. But also, you know, it's one of those things that if I found out I'm in control of my emotions enough as a man now, that it's like it's almost like I want to know if that's happening. A lot of guys will be in denial. They can't face it, and then it gets thrown at them, like to a point where they cannot deny it anymore. Like that guy, he found men's clothes that don't belong to him in his own house. The other guy, I saw it on camera. I don't know why I looked at the camera, but I did. He says in the video, it's like God told me to look at the camera. No, you knew she was fucking somebody else. That's why you looked at the camera. It would have been more effective, Misfit Ranks. It would have been more effective if he just said nothing, grabbed all his shit, and walked out. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because then she would have been questioning the fuck what happened, and then it would make her have to admit it. You'd have to have that conversation. I know what happened. And then she, what? I don't know what you're talking about. You know. But she ripped that Band-Aid off. Yeah. All right. Well, let me get out of here. We will be back with some more content, as always. Bad Sports should be the next thing we're doing. All the sports fans, tune in. We've got the playoffs that they're covering, the NBA playoffs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna be doing more tough loves more frequently, because I'm enjoying doing this little show here. You know, I just don't like to burn out. With the content. I like to switch things up. So I might go back to Misinformed at some point. Who the fuck knows? All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you later. Good evening.
Tough love.